Masterclass Lesson 33. Today lesson we learn about empathy and sympathy statement. Why using the wrong statement can cause customer furious and frustration, and also add a few into your statement. Communication is an important tool. Using the right statement and words that you present to your client and your customer. Right, grab a copy of my right ebook right below this video, and you will learn more about empathy and sympathy statement.
Empathy is a skill for developing understanding from the customer's point of view of what a customer wants and how the customer wants it. This means understanding both the customer's view of the situation and the customer's feelings about the situation. Most service providers can identify and understand a customer's technical or informational needs. But by using empathy, you can show your customers that you understand their emotional needs and how their feelings influence their technical needs. Customers experience emotions that range from highly negative, like anger, frustration, and irritation, to highly positive, like pleasure, excitement, and confidence. If you pay close attention to customers' feelings, you will gain a more complete understanding of their needs and expectations. When a negative feeling causes a customer to experience discomfort and dissatisfaction, or when a positive feeling suggests a way to provide additional service, and when you need to check your progress in helping a customer become more comfortable, then you need to make an empathy statement. Empathy statements acknowledge the customer's feelings and mirror those feelings back without judgment. Let me give you an example. Here's a customer with negative feelings.
Thank you for calling Business Tech. This is Carol. How may I help you?
You people sold me a fax machine.
Yes?
Not only did you take my money, you just cost me the biggest deal of the year.
Oh, no.
Your piece of junk turned my proposal into gibberish, and now my firm is a laughingstock, and I'm angry about it.
This customer is angry, frustrated, and feeling embarrassed. Before a customer like this will even listen to a solution, you need to acknowledge the feelings that you heard and let him know that you respect his right to those feelings. And while empathy statements don't include problem solving, they do demonstrate that you are willing to do everything possible to solve the problem that is causing those feelings. Let's look at an appropriate empathy statement for this customer with negative feelings.
Your piece of junk turned my proposal into gibberish, and now my firm is a laughingstock, and I'm angry about it.
Sir, you have the right to feel angry about your lost business and the embarrassment it's caused your company. I'm very sorry. And I'll send a technician out there right away to find out what caused the technical problem you described. As soon as I have that information, I will call you and we'll figure out what I can do to resolve this to your satisfaction. Will that be all right with you?
Yes, that will be fine. I'll wait for your call. How long do you think it will be?
Looks easy, doesn't it? Carol simply mirrored back the negative emotion without becoming defensive, argumentative, or judgmental. But making an appropriate empathy statement under the stress of an upset customer requires practice. Many people find it easy to sympathize, but find it difficult to stay objective and empathize, especially when the customer's feelings are negative. Empathy means I acknowledge your feelings, and I respect your right to feel the way you do. It means I will stay objective so I can represent my company's best interests and yet strive to solve your problem. Sympathy, on the other hand, means I agree with you, and rather than helping you, I will add more fuel to the fire by contributing some of my own negative feelings. In fact, by the time we're done talking, you will be convinced that you don't ever want to do business with us again. Let's look at what would happen if Carol were to use sympathy for this customer.
Your piece of junk turned my proposal into gibberish, and now my firm is a laughingstock, and I'm angry about it.
That's horrible. We really messed up. I'd be furious too if I were you.
You'd be furious. I don't care how you feel. It happened to me. Look, I'm wasting my time. I'm going to let my lawyer handle this. I'm sure he'll be real interested in your feelings.
Rather than responding with sympathy and increasing the customer's negative feelings, Carol could have used an objective empathy statement and kept herself positioned to help the customer. When you use an empathy statement to acknowledge a customer's negative feelings, be extremely careful that you are empathizing and not sympathizing. An empathy statement is also appropriate when a customer expresses positive feelings. Using empathy when a customer displays excitement about a purchase, for instance, reinforces the positive feeling and might also lead to an opportunity to provide additional or more personal service. Let's look at an example of a provider making an empathy statement to reinforce a customer's positive feelings about making travel arrangements.
You really seem excited about going to Hawaii. I was there last winter, and if you have a minute, I'd love to give you some tips on what to see when you're there.
Carl created an opportunity to offer personalized service that exceeded the customer's expectations. Even if the customer declined the offer, Carl demonstrated a sincere effort to increase the level of his customer's enthusiasm. Now let's watch Carol use an empathy statement to check the progress she is making in helping a customer become more comfortable.
Before we go any further, Mrs. Langston, may I ask, you seemed quite upset when you first called. Are you more comfortable now that you know we'll be able to fix your appliance by the end of the day?
Carol's empathy statement objectively acknowledged the customer's feelings without making a judgment. The purpose of using an empathy statement in this kind of situation is simply to check that you have been successful in reducing the customer's negative feelings. If your customer responds favorably to this kind of empathy statement, you know it is safe to proceed to the next step of the service interaction. If your customer's response is not encouraging, then you need to uncover some additional information or offer a different solution before proceeding. Using an empathy statement like this to check your customer's emotional progress will give you a much clearer idea of what needs to happen to move your customer towards satisfaction. Empathy statements are powerful tools to use when customers display highly negative or highly positive feelings, or when you need to check your progress as you work to help create and keep customer satisfaction.
Okay, we have come to the end of Masterclass Lesson 33. Hope you have learned, but don't forget to put into practice. Then you can have that kind of feeling. When you have the feeling, you can perceive or perception on your customer feeling. Right now, we have fun to learn, and when we put in practice, you also change your perception and your own behavior. So if you can change your own perception and behavior, it will same effect on your customer and your client. Now your feeling can be different. You can feel a bit better, happier, and help to reduce stresses and remove all the negative thoughts in your mind. Especially when you're working for a company, you probably have a lot of stress because you need to handle customer service, and this can be a stress to you when you cannot able to perform what I mentioned here. So this is a good practice. I have gone through this many years ago. That's why I can tell you all this about your feeling. Okay, next, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, right, and click the bell and give a thumbs up to my channel. One of the reasons why I emphasize more on practicing, because when you practice, you feel it. And when you feel it, it's the same as how you communicate with your customer and how they can feel. When you have that kind of feeling, they will have that kind of feeling. So in order to win a customer perception and change their behavior and accept your offer, and that's how you go. Next lesson, I will talk more about how you can handle an irate customer, an angry customer come to you, how you can actually change from irate to a comfortable position or indecisive manner so that you can handle them properly. I think important thing that this is where you are building the kind of relationship with your customer so that they can stay with you forever.